Myth is the definition of a team that likes to come out swinging, and in response to that, I would certainly say that Astral Authority has to match that aggression.
That's true. No, Myth Gaming went like Blinkianus on Thursday. They definitely love, even with Squishy Gods, love going in that aggression type. I doubt we're going to see KhaoticPurpose either. They're gonna. How is Astral Authority going to allow KhaoticPurpose to have him?
We'll wait and see, I suppose. But the thing is, like, Myth could have anything up their sleeve as well, right? They haven't really shown anything in this last game. It's just completely standard picks. So, whereas Astral Authority have to come out here and play some of their cards and make themselves more vulnerable in that regard.
Taking a minute here for picks and bans discussing before they want to jump in there, and you can't really blame them, right? This is the grand finals. They had to go through so much to get here.
Exactly. And they did their research last night, you could tell, because, or all day yesterday actually, because they picked and banned very, very quickly.
All right, everyone, let's get into game number 2, picks and bans of Astral Authority versus Myth Gaming.
And again, I wouldn't really be super surprised to see some similar bans, at least from Myth. It seemed to work out incredibly well, eliminating the Coviiii and the Osiris, not having to worry about that pressure from Wolves or Transonics, who has had great performances on the Coviiii in his past performances. And so I could maybe see Astral Authority, since they are actually opting for the second pick
that's
selection.
surprising me, actually, yeah. That was the #1 thing that I thought Astral should change, apart from the picks, is they can get these early gods better. They can get these good gods on the early side of their draft.
But don't you have the benefit of seeing what they pick first and then being a bit more counter-reactive?
True, but when you're banning something like Coviiii, you're leaving these other top picks open. As you can see, Myth most likely going to take the Ullr here.
And of course, though, Astral Authority did learn from last match. They do not want to have to deal with that KhaoticPurpose again. Had way too much teamfight presence, so they eliminated it. But that leaves Ullr entirely open, although he's a little bit different as far as console is concerned. He hasn't been as prevalent in the past as what we've seen from PC, even with Ullr having received the most recent buffs. Controller makes things a little bit harder, and Ullr being a skill shot heavy god.
Between his 3 and
Exactly.
his axe stun as well, which is a long-range projectile. Yeah, he's a bit more technical.
So far, it looks like this is a PC team versus an Xbox team in regards to the meta as well. Like, Myth are sticking with what we've seen throughout the day on the PC side of things.
Well, do you feel like they're watching these PC games and learning from it?
Yeah, for sure.
And there we have a Xing Chen pick coming out for Astral Authority.
Yeah, we talked about that, so I'm definitely happy to see that one.
And this is also a god that Transonics has loved as of late. Or not Transonics, excuse me, Brochacho has been in love with lately. It's excellent, especially for those double hunter compositions, which can kind of be fulfilled with the Soul pick up by Coviiii, because I'm expecting that to be for him in the mid lane. Soul kind of fulfills that role of acting as a secondary hunter.
Oh.
And Soul, still a good matchup into Raijin. Looks like Myth taking away the Geb from Astral in the early draft.
Yeah, Myth's comp looking a little different, but Raijin staying in the game for them. Going to be played with Crimson.
Coviiii definitely seems to have his priorities straight with in regards to what he wants in the mid lane.
Last pick coming out for Astral Authority. You think they're going to try and go for, Susano?
Susano would be one of those picks that KhaoticPurpose loves bringing out. A lot of mobility and control in team fights, particularly because of the fact that you just never really know which direction Susano is going to go. If you're not there steadily protecting your carries, it's all too easy for Susano to just gobble them right up.
Second set of bans coming out. Probably going to be seeing a Hunter ban for Astral Authority. I mean, on the side of Myth Gaming. Unless Soul will be over in the Hunter lane?
I just can't really expect Transonics to play a god like Soul. Transonics prefers to actually be able to box with his opposition.
Yeah.
It will probably be AMC bans, maybe even ROM bans alongside of... Actually, yeah, AMC or ROM would be safe.
Definitely not letting Robin through again after that last game, and we see an Erling Shin ban over on Myth Gaming.
Then Astral taking away the Daji as well. So I wonder what they're going to play in the jungle side on Myth.
Huh, they took away the Dodgy, but they played the Dodgy.
Well, taking away the Daji here is a good point, just because Susano and Soul both very vulnerable to a Daji. It's not like they have a Raven.
Odin, the final ban coming from Myth Gaming, and now we are moving on to the pick side for Astral Authority. What would you do to round out this team?
Well, Myth is clearly concerned about what God Wolves is going to whip out. He could possibly run it back with with his Hercules, but running back the Hercules is kind of questionable. I like the Guan Yu here because of his shred.
Whoa, man, haven't seen Guan Yu at all in competition on PC side of things and the console side of things till just now.
Yeah, one thing that worries me on Astral side of the draft is though they're lacking quite a bit of hard CC. Obviously you have the pull from Susano and the small knockups from Sol. I guess you have a stun on the end of Guan Yu's ult, but Xing Chen is all really their hard utility.
And this is why I think I'm not too surprised to see the Guan Yu actually because of the Sobek pickup. Sobek doesn't really have a way to hard interrupt the Guan Yu unless you're plucking him, but if you do that, then you bring the aggro of the minions onto yourself. So Delnyy with the Sobek can't really afford to do that during the early laning phase, meaning that Wolves should have the advantage with the Guan Yu.
Wouldn't the anti-heal though be some kind of benefit towards Sobek?
It helps, but a lot of Guan Yu's healing is going to be out of combat.
Whoa, and a Nemesis potentially being locked in.
How do they fall?
What does Nemesis provide for the team?
Well, now they can kill this Guan Yu for sure. If they pluck him when he's, just to interrupt his 3, they can definitely kill him to follow up.
I am not a goddess of mercy.
And a Freya pick coming out for Myth Gaming. Or I'm sorry, for Astral Authority there. 2 magic attackers?
Yes, and that is still going to be kind of beneficial to Astral Authority. Yeah, that's definitely going for Transonics, no doubt about that. But they have enough physical damage from Susano. Susano can kind of fulfill that role of being a physical hyper carry. So it's not like Astral Authority is going to be lacking any in that department in case Myth try to stack up on the magical protections, knowing that they're going against 2 magical carries.
Will Myth Gaming take it up 2-0, or will Astral Authority tie the game? Let's find out in game number 2 of Myth Gaming versus Astral Authority.
Thank you very much, Kelly Tolley. What a game number 1 out of Myth Gaming, dominating for Astral Authority for most of that game, taking the first blood and snowballing it into a huge lead. Astral fought back, but Myth Gaming too strong in the end.
Yes, absolutely. That combination of KeegsMate and Raven creating an absolute nightmare for Astral to handle. This time, learning from their mistakes. Neither of those 2 gods are on Myth Gaming side of things, and I love what Transonics is bringing out here. He was telling me backstage that he had a pocket pick. They asked him what it was. He said that Freya. I'm like, all right. I mean, we've seen Freya Hunter before, but not for quite some time. And look at his opening build, Shoes of Focus.
Just like Keegs has gone here for the Ninja Tabe, so a lot of movement speed here at the start, but all on Keegs. We saw him hard carry a game against Strictly Business only 2 days ago with this god.
It's so difficult to really handle the early game Ullr, especially once he has Ninja Tabe, because you're already taking enough damage as it is through his abilities, and then you got to worry about that attack speed in hand, a little bit extra power. Now, keep in mind, you can also bully him out since he doesn't have much sustain, but you can't do it alone, and Transonics is already less than half health.
But there's a sprint popped here and some beads, so 2 relics.
The combination of the Guan Yu and the Freya is what really makes this work here. The Tallow Assault melting the protections. Freya's in hand's going to do even more damage, and on top of that, the Tallow Assault is going to group up the wave to allow this Freya to clear it very early on.
Inbound, taking some damage here from Brochacho, just really looking to get this Geb low here at the start. Geb struggles a little bit at the start of a game, Tolley.
Yes, Geb by himself can be easily exploited, especially before his shield gets to a very high level, not having too much health returned back. But this is what Freya struggles with early on. If you don't get control in the laning phase to start things off, then you're going to get bullied under your own tier 1 tower, and that's exactly what Myth Gaming are doing. But this is a little different start here. It's Myth Gaming not finding that first blood the way they started in game number 1.
They're still finding these buff camps here over on the left-hand side. Going to take away the red buff here. Coviiii coming in now, axe stun there for Keegs, and the combo as well. ErupT's not here to capitalize though. Coviiii going to be able to walk away, but a huge amount of damage put out there by Keegs, and showing why his Ullr is so dangerous.
Keep in mind, that's only a level 2 Ullr that did those 3 abilities. You look at level 6 or higher Ullr, Coviii's dead in that spot. Absolute rights. But now look at the mana pull from Keegs. Every single time he starts Ninja Tabe, he doesn't have the sustain.
Jumpahhhh here looking for the first blood for Myth Gaming, and Jumpahhhh gets the first blood on the Nemesis.
Coviiii just caught in a bad spot. But the purple buff invade from Astral Authority has been successful. Brochacho needs to be very mindful here. He jukes out the knockup.
but Jumpahhh's coming in. He's coming around the top side. KhaoticPurpose has spotted him out. Jumping in, pulls him back. Keegs looking to go in with the axes. Jumpahhh's coming around. Jumpahhhh wants 2 kills. He's going to get 2 kills. The Stone Shield keeps him alive for now. Keegs misses with the axe. They've got no mana left. Okay, ErupT over the wall. Saves his support life. Myth 3-0.
Astral just can't respond in kind. They cannot avenge Brochacho whatsoever, and even KP taking a spill there in the solo lane. Delnyy versus Wolves, not much to talk about there, but on the left side, it's been such an impressive start from Myth Gaming. They showed that they're capable of more than just a cheesy opening start. They're able to actually group up and find these picks.
Sprint pop, they want more. Jumpahhhh slows down Transonics. Transonics has no mana left. Here comes Inbowned, great knock-up. Keegs looking for some damage here. Can he find it? Trans doing what he can. Jumpahhhh is going to get himself another kill. 3-0-1 for the jungler out of North America.
Not
Not
a good start whatsoever. Coviiii and Brochacho is here. Jumpahhhh hits level 5, slows Brochacho. They can't get anything. Astral Authority without a single kill. 3 minutes into the game, and everyone from Myth Gaming is just so low.
That was brilliant there from Jumpahhhh. No kill potential with his ultimate, but the slow provided by the Divine Judgment was exactly what he needed to keep El Brochacho away from him. Geb couldn't do anything. You can't knock up Guan Yu while he's in that Tallow Assault, so the only response was the one that Myth Gaming gave.
And this is the best possible start that Myth Gaming could have possibly asked for, shutting down a Freya that is just a nightmare in the late game. They're up about almost 2,000 gold here, not even 4 minutes into the game. Myth Gaming showing us they do belong at Worlds. They do belong in the finals, and they have the possibility to win against Astral Authority.
Yeah, they're definitely taking it to the reigning LAN champions. Not quite the reigning world champions, that is, of course, Obey Alliance, but Astral Authority definitely the dominant team on console this year.
They were basically guided to the promised land by Brochacho. He was here last year, finishing 2nd place, but he made this kind of an all-star lineup with Wolves, Transonics joining inside as well. They've been performing so perfectly here. Brochacho, though, and Transonics are being baited by a trap.
ErupT coming in, Drums of War coming through. Transonics up in the sky. Crimson just waiting, just baiting, trying to get over his last couple of shots, but he can't do it. Coviiii going to come in now to try and secure his red buff, but he might end up being the next target. Knocked up, Jumpahhh's looking for Coviiii here, but he's in that immune form. Brochacho got to back away as well. This red buff belongs to Myth Gaming right now.
Absolutely. They baited out the ultimates from Brochacho and Transonics. The Freya had to back, and that's going to open the window for the red buff. A nice double pull, though, by KhaoticPurpose. Supernova, though, a little bit off the mark.
He's getting turned on right now. Here comes Keegs jumping over the wall. He's looking for him, and Keegs will clean up KP. And Jumpahhhh gets Coviiii.
Transonics is here trying to make something out of nothing. He's forced to run away here, even using his beads. A nice double whoop, but no follow-up.
This is very one-sided at the moment, Tolly, and we all thought it was going to be one-sided coming in, but not in this direction. Delnyy and Wolves having their old Guardian slap fight here in the right-hand lane. But it's all been action on the left-hand side thus far.
Ullr 1-0-4, almost 100% kill participation, but it's Jumpahhhh that's been a part of every single one of it for Myth Gaming. The jungler from Myth has been making a statement here in this entire set.
Yeah, showing that KhaoticPurpose is not the only good jungler on console. Jumpahhhh, captain, of course, of Myth Gaming. We were talking about before, Tolly, how Brochacho has kind of guided his team here to the promised land, to the console world finals, and Jumpahhhh, he's doing the same right now.
Absolutely. There is just no fear in the eyes of this Nemesis that hasn't been really prioritized in the jungle. Brochacho, though, he's going in, recognizing Inbound doesn't have his rollout. Transonics trying to do what he can. He finally finds the last shot, but Jumpahhhh, he wants to find a revenge kill.
ErupT over the wall. KhaoticPurpose is going to get one, but there's 3 members of Astral here to only 2 of Myth. 2-for-1 trade there in favor of Astral Authority, so there we go. Some signs of life out of Astral.
That's one way to get Transonics back into the game and stay a little bit relevant, though, but not until Jumpahhhh takes out KhaoticPurpose. So at the end of the day, it was a 2-for-2.
Jumpahhhh just going off right now. We're looking at the XP and gold difference, all in favor of Myth Gaming thus far. 1,200 XP, 2,200 gold. No gold furies taken at the start of this game, but Myth Gaming domination.
Still doing a little bit of work here. A little sloppy start, being caught out of position there. They have a sentry ward. At the bottom side is Astral Authority of the left side mid Harpies. And they were able to really spot out those rotations. So they knew the window that they had to try to make that risky play against Inbound. It's not the easiest thing in the world to kill a Geb, especially once he does have Cataclysm.
Devourer's Gauntlet starting to be stacked up here by Keegs. There is some inherent lifesteal in Freya for Transonics, but these boxing matches, if they ever do start between these two, are definitely going to be something to watch. And Keegs, he's shown this game, and he showed it yesterday, why his Ullr is something to be feared in the console scene.
Absolutely. The demonic grip, once that gets completed by Transonics, hold that thought, though. The poke is so good, but Transonics, he's baiting because Brochacho's right around the corner, but hold that thought. Inbound is here. He's looking for the knockup. He's not going to find it onto Transonics, and even if he did, he wasn't going to be in range for that Cataclysm.
I mean, that's fine. They're just looking for the red buff once again. Inbound, just keeping KeegsMate safe, ensuring that Brochacho doesn't go in with that cavalry charge ultimate and potentially catching out the Ullr, because one of the disadvantages of Ullr is that he doesn't have an ultimate, he doesn't have a CC immune ability, so getting caught out by hard CC is not something you want to do.
It's definitely not the easiest thing to escape as an Ullr unless you consistently hit that axe stun. Keegs is going to be trying to group up with Inbound. The Geb Shield going to make sure that he doesn't take too much damage from that Talu Assault. And Guan, definitely not a prioritized pick, but Brochacho has been known to throw some warriors into his God Pool. And this is a pick that's common in terms of his history, not necessarily the SCL or even the SPL side of things.
Guan Yu used to be one of those picks as well that was very popular in support. You know, you think of guys like Trix Tank always pulling out those warrior supports, but Guan Yu has always been one of the main ones for the sustain he provides, as well as the protection shred, and he's got some CC in that cavalry charge as well.
It's all about the utility, honestly, that he gives to the team with the heals, slowing people constantly, and then the protection shred. Not to mention, as long as you're constantly healing your teammates, dashing through the opponents, you're reducing the cooldown.
Brochacho, see you later, buddy, says ErupT with the drums of war. Transonics taking damage as well. KhaoticPurpose is absolutely demolished there, but he's going to be able to get away. Coviiii throwing out that supernova as well, so that's a lot of ultimates used by Astral and a lot used by Myth. But guess which team's in position to do the Gold Fury, Tolly?
Myth Gaming in a 5v4 spot as Brochacho's reviving in 5 seconds. Jumpahhhh has even positioned himself to potentially zone Astral Authority, but they're nowhere to be found. This Gold Fury is free.
Yeah, just like last game objectives, the first one is going to fall the way of Myth Gaming. Golden experience very much in their favor right now, about 4,000 gold, Tolly, and it's not even at 10 minutes yet.
This game has been basically a 4-on-4 the entire time. Both of these solo Guardians are very contempt about farming it up because of the power spike that they provide. Nice little whoop. Keegs is going to take more damage than he probably would have liked there. Nice beats as well. That's a lot of damage, and the Valkyrie comes out. He connects the shot. Transonics just solos Keegs.
Great work there by Transonics, getting that solo kill, a big confidence booster for both himself and his team. KhaoticPurpose now going to be looking to gank Delnyy here along with Wolves. There's the ultimate out of Wolves. Delnyy lurking in the waters here, but the damage is going to be enough here from Astral Authority to save. The sprint comes out and he gets out.
It's not enough damage. Delnyy barely walks away here. Jumpahhhh now, he's trying to find the kill onto one KhaoticPurpose, but he's not able to. Brochacho here, he finds the horrific emblem, and now it's Jumpahhhh forced to use the beats. Wolves is still here, finds the knockup. The root is good, but Coviiii doesn't want to commit. He does not have that supernova because it was used at the left side mids.
Exactly, totally, and Myth Gaming very lucky to escape that situation unscathed. Not entirely unscathed, but alive at the very least. So there's going to be some pressure now over on this right-hand side. 3-man grouping from Astral Authority. They should get this tier 1 tower with the damage coming out of KhaoticPurpose, out of Coviiii and Brochacho. And they will get the first tower of the game over the right-hand side. But Transonics, here's some payback from Keegs and Inbound. He's going to fall down in just a second. Inbound trying to let his ADC get the kill here, but I think he might have to take this one.
He has to let this go. He has to confirm it for himself. There's no way you can let this Freya go, having so much movement speed with that hasten ring as well. He's going to be able to just ping-pong everywhere, and I think that was the result of Transonics trying to find that purple buff invade that cost him his life.
Here's KhaoticPurpose looking for Inbound here, great knockup. Supernova comes out, the Stone Shield not going to be enough to save Inbound. KhaoticPurpose picks up a kill on Coviiii, and his friends chase away Myth Gaming from their red buff.
Great little pick off. Inbound will have to wait 20 seconds before he gets back into the game. Transonics just now reviving. Brochacho sitting at level 9 here, has the Talaria boost, working on a little bit more sustain options here. And there's a little bit of a power spike play for Astral Authority. Once there's more cooldown reduction for Brochacho, some more mana potentially as well, that's when you're going to be looking for that group up by Astral and look for some objectives.
And we can see the golden experience is still in favor of Myth Gaming, but it has dipped a little bit from their previous heights. So Astral Authority, despite being down early here, showing they are still in this game. They are here for a reason.
Absolutely here, Astral Authority confirm these oracles. The magical damage is pretty high from the Chaos side between this Freya and the Soul. Coviiii struggling a little bit with this 0-2-2 start. He's 3 levels behind Crimson. That's never a good spot to be, or a comfortable one. And that's allowing Crimson to just comfortably go for this Doom Orb, get it fully stacked, and look for more of that long-range artillery shots.
Crimson's been jumping in very aggressively into these fights as well, which is really paid off with the support he's getting from Inbound and from Jumpahhhh, and it's allowed Myth Gaming to really lock down some members of Astral Authority in these fights.
They're just able to take advantage of Astral Authority, either overextending a little bit too far. Also, the relic usage by Myth Gaming has almost been flawless. They went 2 sprints for a reason. They're going to recognize there's a lot of slows.
Blink forward and the whoop. KeegsMate, I don't know how you're going to live through this one, mate. Transonics will confirm the kill there, but it does cost them 2 ultimates. Wolves getting turned on here now by 4 members of Myth Gaming. Here's some payback now. Some Myth jumping in from ErupT, and Wolves is going to fall down to Jumpahhhh.
I thought for a hot second that maybe, just maybe, Wolves would have escaped that one, but no. Surrounded by 4 members, didn't have the double jump to escape that one. His first death of the game. A 1-level deficit now for the Soul Laner out of Astral Authority. No objectives yet by Myth Gaming on the right to try to capitalize with how many Astral members were on the left.
Transonics going to steal away this purple buff. Not going to be able to take the tier 1 tower as Inbound is there. Portal Demon has respawned. Gold Fury down for another 30 seconds or so. And so, Totally, which do you think is really the priority between these 2 teams at the moment?
It's got to be the Gold Fury. The Portal Demon is just not worth as much here. You're trying to Sentry Ward around the left side of the map, catch the rotations potentially, and then look for a very clean objective. And the way Myth Gaming have been playing, as long as they continue to do so, Astral will never really get to the late game to thrive off of this Freya Soul combination.
So a Gauntlet of Thieves coming out of Brochacho, so a little bit more protections for him and his teammates, but you know, I was kind of thinking maybe he might have gone a Shield of Regrowth here for some extra movement speed, and some cooldown like you were mentioning, but do you think he's just gone the Thieves for the aura?
It's that, yeah, it might be the aura for the both physical and magical protections. Getting a lot of health, a lot of HP 5 is not a bad idea, but there's not that much utility. Transonics gonna go to the sky. They're really trying to find KeegsMate.
As you would, he's very potent on this Ullr, but Inbound and the rest of the Myth Gaming crew are here to save the life of their ADC, who's not even going to back to base here, it looks like. He might just try and heal himself up off a buff.
It was 5% health there, and Ullr is a very good god to try to heal off of buffs, honestly. You stay in the axe stance, that's one form of lifesteal, not to mention the Aussie and the Devo gloves. You get even extra lifesteal. I think it was a waiting attempt here. Transonics, though, he's left alone.
Great ultimate there from Inbound. Jumpahhhh as well does a lot of damage, and Inbound picks up the kill onto Transonic, and now Myth Gaming, they're going to look for these Oracle Harpies. If Delnyy can find a target, looks like it might be Coviiii.
It's a 5-on-4 without Transonics. Wolves is forced to retreat here. Crimson and Jumpahhhh are thinking about maybe doing some more damage, while the rest of their team, though, they're on this Gold Fury. It's less than half health.
And look at this, zoning away in the backline is Delnyy. This Gold Fury is going to be for free. Drums of War from Crimson. Wolves trying to pick up a target here. He only finds Inbound. Myth Gaming looking for this Gold Fury. Coviiii trying to steal it, but it's not to be. Myth Gaming get their second Gold Fury of the game. Coviiii falls down to Jumpahhhh. Myth Gaming responding to Astral Authority's attempts to come back and say, no, 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 this game is out.
Coviiii pays the ultimate price there. He tried to steal the Gold Fury at no cost whatsoever, but now without his life, it's yet again a 5-on-4 where Myth Gaming is exploiting the situation with another objective. They're already up almost 6,000 gold. It will stretch beyond that point with this Portal Demon. Now 2-on-3.
Divine Judgment there used onto Transonics, who's forced to go up into the sky without Valkyrie's discretion. And Myth Gaming happy to back here. They could come right out that portal if they really want to. They might actually just want to do that, considering that everyone on Astral has backed away.
Seems that Myth Gaming might just mess around and start this Fire Giant at the 16.5-minute mark. If they really wanted to, it's still a good spot for them to be in.
KeegsMate's going to head over to this left-hand side. If he'd gone through, I would have agreed with you, but you know, it's a little bit too ambitious, I think, for Myth Gaming, and the chances of a steal with the Supernova being up soon on Coviiii, just too much for Myth Gaming to attempt there.
Astral, they're being zoned away on the left side. They don't really want to start these team fights quite yet, bro. Chacho needs to hit level 12 to get that second relic before forcing any team fights. A blink is available for inbound, so it's all action for Myth Gaming whenever they want to start it.
Inbound, clearing away Astral Authority. Astral Authority just running from Myth right now. Don't want anything to do with them. Wolves around in the backline here. Might take some damage here. It's going to be difficult to kill him without investing a lot. But if you can keep him away, Keegs pulled in.
Keegs is isolated alone, but he does so much damage. In return, KP taking an early spill.
ErupT doing so much damage over the wall to Coviiii. Transonics, Jumpahhh's trying to fight 1v2. He might just win, he will. The tick damage is enough, and now Brochacho being turned on, and Delnyy does so much damage as well. Myth Gaming pick up 2 kills. They're looking for a third here as Wolves is looking to return serve onto Myth Gaming. He's jumping away as Keegs takes the tier 1 tower on the right-hand side.
Where is he going to go, though? That's his double jump. No ultimate available as well. He tried so hard to find the kill onto Crimson, but look at this. The root is going to set up the double knock. A beautiful play inbound. Got baited into the position where he knocked up Wolves, but he also hit Fire Giant at the same time. That team fight lasted for so long, and it was all over the place. Myth Gaming picking Astral Authority out one by one by one.
All right, Myth, come on, just kill him already. Let's get this over with.
Rent even being used.
Yeah, just with that kill. So I think that's a little bit of frustration there from Myth, how long Wolves was able to stay around. And I mean, this is the usual tale we see with Xing 10s in the solo lane. We saw it at Worlds 2 years ago, almost impossible to kill.
But it's very important, though, that Wolves bought that much time, because now Coviiii, Brochacho, and Transonics revived, and therefore Myth Gaming, they couldn't really get any other objectives. They couldn't get the Fire Giant, they couldn't get the tier 2 tower heading into the 19-minute mark, so there's still a little bit of hope for Astral Authority. They are down 8,000 gold, but it's all a waiting game for them. They need this Freya to get to the late game.
That's their win condition, no two ways about it. Coviiii is, I think, fallen too far behind at this stage, being 3 levels down, but Transonics is within 2 levels of Keegs, and I mean, that's no knock on Keegs, that's just how good Transonics is.
He even found a solo kill onto Keegs. He was level 9 Transonics, while Keegs was level 10. That just goes to show what kind of a player Transonics can really be at any given moment. Coviiii, though, caught in a 1v1 against Delnyy. Wolves is here to save his life for the moment as Delnyy lurks away.
Wolves is rotating around the backside there. No, he's just going for the blue buff. I thought they might try and kill him, but with KhaoticPurpose coming over now, Delnyy's in a little bit of a rough spot if Wolves can catch him. Sprint is popped here. Jumpahhhh, though, is going to flank around the backside here. They're looking for Transonics. Transonics goes into the ultimate just to waste some time, but I don't think he's getting out of alive from this one here. Myth Gaming looking for him. Aegis is popped.
The Wolf bites him even more times. Jumpahhhh takes a lot of damage. Meanwhile, on the right, it's a 1-on-4 on Delnyy. They're going to respond in kind. But look where all of Astral Authority are. They could do Fire Giant. They might lose their tier 2 tower on left, but they can easily go for this objective. No, they're actually just going to back.
They don't want Myth Gaming to do the Phoenix. I think if they'd gone for the Fire Giant there, Myth Gaming gets the Phoenix pretty much for free. But I mean, realistically, all you need is Wolves to back there, and they can't do the Phoenix. They might not even be able to do this tier 2 with Wolves just around.
If Wolves backs, then there's no possible Fire Giant. Who's going to really take it without it being too long to complete? The rotation was also made from Crimson, just in case Astral were considering that Fire Giant objective.
Well, Fire Giant is still up, neither team able to take that one down. And in fact, Myth Gaming denied the tier 2 there, so essentially just a kill for a kill there. ADC for solo laner, and well, I suppose that keeps Transonics off the map, keeps him from finding his farm, so what's that in Myth Gaming's favor?
Definitely favoring out Myth Gaming. It stalls the game out a little bit because you can't really push as hard as you would like to, But still, this Freya remains a level 14, having the Bancroft's talent, even surprisingly going for a Spear of the Magus, really trying to get that penetration online quicker.
Well, you got two very tanky targets on Myth in the form of the Sobek and the Geb. Transonics going to whoop up Jumper here while Keegs is starting the Gold Fury, so Jumper's going to zone away two members of Astral Authority, just keep their attention. But now Astral, they're spotting out this Gold Fury. KhaoticPurpose trying to get in here, but Inbound's keeping him away. And oh no, he blinks over the wall. Myth Gaming get their third Gold Fury of the game, and now it's party time here. There's the ultimate coming out of KhaoticPurpose. Coviiii goes in with his ultimate. Transonics in the sky. He's very low. Jumper finds Coviiii. Transonics is going to fall down. Keegs finds him. KhaoticPurpose in the back is being chased out as well. Myth Gaming, it's a slaughterhouse right now as Keegs gets a double kill. Wolves is the next target.
They found 3 members. They're going to find the 4th on KhaoticPurpose. They want this deicide. They want game number 2. They want the stats to get that trophy. And there it goes. Deicide.
Not even looking for the Fire Giant right now. Myth Gaming, they're actually going to turn around and go for it. It looks like, no, they're splitting up. Starting Portal Demon and then Tier 2 Tower. A lot of indecision here from Myth Gaming, and I hope that they're not kind of getting overexcited by the lead they find themselves in.
They haven't been in this position very often, Husey. They're finally getting the correct objective. Fire Giant is the correct call. 22.5 minutes in, 23-6. Myth Gaming up 12,000 gold. Now securing themselves as Fire Giant. They're going to get another 4,500 gold after they secure those 3 remaining Tier 2 towers.
Portal Demon falls their way as well, so they are in prime position now, Tolly, to go ahead and start taking down some more of these towers, finding themselves with a 13k gold lead.
It seems that Jumpahhhh has just been so
come alive.
Solid this game. 12-0-7. He's been all over the place, not allowing any breathing room for Astral Authority. Still 3 levels behind his Transonics, as well as Coviiii. These 2 magical hunter ADCs hasn't really been what Astral could benefit from.
Yeah, Jumpahhh's really been, you know, just forcing his way into the back line and getting onto these very soft targets in the form of Coviiii and Transonics. Both of them have really been blown up before they've had a chance to deal a lot of damage. They've gotten their ultimates off, but they're usually pretty defensive and trying to get these front lines away from them.
They just couldn't group up the way they would have wanted. Astral Authority were playing on the back foot the entire game, so I would definitely watch out for that spot.
Look at Crimson now, pushing away on the left-hand side. Gonna take down a Tier 2 tower on his own, but Astral recognizes they spotted him. Brochacho's going in, he's looking for Keegs. Does he have his beads available? There's a stone shield from Inbound that's gonna keep him alive, and Brochacho's going in too hard here. KhaoticPurpose is stunned out by Inbound. Great knock-up by Inbound. Transonics up in the sky, dealing out damage left and right. Great knock-up there by KhaoticPurpose as well. Astral Authority trying to win this fight. There's the spin to win out of Wolves. KhaoticPurpose so low, but he's still alive here. Keegs jumping forward aggressively.
He wants it. He will get it. Onto KhaoticPurpose to start things off. Jumpahhhh finds another. Keegs will finally fall, but not before Brochacho takes a spill. That's 3 dead members from Astral Authority.
Make it 4.
Make it 4, and it might be another deicide as the drums get banged.
That is a great fight for Myth. They essentially win it 4v5. ErupT just comes in at the end to clean up the mess. And Myth Gaming, incredible fight there.
This could be game here, Yuki. They get the Tier 2 tower on the right. They're going to go for their first Phoenix of the game. How bold and ambitious are Myth Gaming feeling? This would be an absolute statement if they go for the end here.
I don't know, Tolly, with a Tier 2 tower up and 2 more Phoenixes.
Yeah, it's risky. It's so risky.
It's very, very, very risky. And Myth Gaming, without Keegs there especially, I think that's the biggest factor in this. If Keegs was up and with Fire Giant, they might have done it, but instead they're just going to take this Tier 2 tower, play it a little bit safer.
Guarantee the 2-0 victory. Don't allow any potential comeback from Astral Authority. They respect the late game potential from Astral Authority. They respect the veteranship from the team of Astral that can know their ways to claw back into certain games. Myth Gaming, they're here, and they're almost gotten the 2nd game under their bag.
And Keegs, he's looking to pick up a Bloodforge right now as well. He's been getting some kills at the start of fights. This will just improve his survivability so much. The peel, I can't stress this enough. Inbound has been playing so fantastically. His stone shields, his knockups, the cataclysms. He's not even really initiating with these cataclysms. He's using them to freeze KhaoticPurpose in place when he's diving onto Keegs and onto Crimson.
Geb has definitely been the problem for Astral Authority. The shields have saved so many lives here, specifically onto both Crimson and Keegs. Keegs jumped offensively in that last fight. He did take a spill, but not until everyone else from Astral just fell to the grave. the Fire Giant respawning in 1.5 minutes, meaning that there's still 30 seconds of that buff around Myth's waist. I don't think that they're going to have time to really utilize that in terms of another Phoenix, but they have enough momentum here to start warding around that right side of the map, get an uncontested Fire Giant, and take a 2-game lead in this console final set.
I'm looking for them to push up the left side here like they're doing now, get the minion waves up there, so if they do go to the Fire Giant and win the fight there, as they did last time, they'll have the left-hand side ready to go and primed for a Phoenix takedown.
Just waiting for those fire minions on the right side like you were talking about here. They're looking for more momentum. Left side, they are grouped up. They don't have Fire Giant buff around any longer. They have 2 red buffs, one on Crimson, one on Keegs. The damage, it will truly be evident. Full build on Keegs, not quite there yet for Crimson, but he definitely has enough damage with that red buff.
It looks like Myth want to go for these Phoenixes without even bothering to go back to the Fire Giant. They know that Astral will have to stick around here, so there's no risk of Astral going for the Fire Giant, especially with Fire Minions pouring in on the right-hand side. Myth poking forward now. Wolves looking to go in here with his ultimate. Crimson forced to jump away. Coviiii already taking down so much damage. KhaoticPurpose with the Typhoon doesn't find any damage except onto Delnyy, who's taking a lot here. He needs to be careful as Brochacho's going in, but the drums of war come through from Crimson, and Wolves falls down to Jumpahhhh. Brochacho in a lot of trouble here. Left-hand side Phoenix goes down to ErupT, goes forward aggressively. Transonics trying to escape here, dealing out the damage along with Coviiii, but Jumpahhh's going to jump in and get the kill.
Gets taken out by Jumpahhhh yet again. The shield so perfect. No, one death there onto Jumpahhhh. I thought he was going to survive that Phoenix shot for a moment, but the first death of the game onto Jumpahhhh.
Keegs trying to 1v2 here. Brochacho and KhaoticPurpose trying to take down the ADC from Myth Gaming. Brochacho, nowhere to run, son. He's going to fall down. And now Myth Gaming, Delnyy and crew, they're looking for this Titan. They're looking to go up 2-0 in this best-of-5 set.
It's only KhaoticPurpose and Coviiii to try to defend here. 4 members stand strong from Myth Gaming. They get game number 2.
Fantastic work there out of Myth Gaming. Jumpahhhh especially on Nemesis. Something like 15 or 16 kills totally. Absolute insanity out of the jungler from Myth.
He should have had no deaths actually, but still played out of his mind, playing like a true MVP.
Well, we'll have to see. There's at least one more game in this set, Tolly. Analysts, break it down.
Thanks so much, Hughesy. And yeah, it could potentially be a 3-0, just like Jumpahhhh was saying. And I was talking to you guys earlier. I can't really pinpoint what Astral Authority was doing wrong. It just seemed like Myth Gaming was doing it that much better. But like you guys said, it came down to the picks and bans.
It just feels like the drafts that Astral Authority are opting for right now are extremely high execution. And so if even one member of their team is out of sync with the rest of the crew, then it kind of all just comes falling apart.
Yeah, and it feels like they're fighting such an uphill battle when they shouldn't be. They're picking these low pressure early game drafts and trying to get to the late game with, you know, using the Guan sustain to get to the point where their Soul and their Freya will take off, but they can't get there, you know. Nemesis, for example, that Jumpahhhh just played, is still a good early game god while being great late game. You're not going to get to the late game if you don't pick the early game as well. You can't have zero pressure.
Jumpahhhh on that Nemesis was amazing. We have the replay here right now.
He was legitimately just a part of probably, what, 90% of the kills? But towards the end there, right before he died, he was toting a 15-0-9 scoreline. The fact that he had that much pressure and control over Astral Authority just goes to show how easy it was for Myth Gaming to kind of just maintain their lead once they got it.
The rotations were fantastic as well. Crimson was constantly rotating from the mid lane in the early game there, allowing his team to have a good team composition. And it seemed like Astral Authority was just always a little late to the party to defend their teammates.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you don't have the pressure, right? Because Raijin's going to outpush the Soul. The Soul's stuck clearing a wave, while the Raijin just moves and rotates and gets a kill somewhere, and you lose the game.
And there was a brief moment in time as well when KeegsMate was able to find that Soul, or excuse me, when Transonics found the solo kill against KeegsMate, and you thought that maybe the Freya can take off and carry Astral Authority through this awkward mid-game phase that they were having, but it just never really came to light, because as soon as Trans got that kill, he was immediately ambushed off cooldown. Myth Gaming were not taking any chances whatsoever. They recognized that the Freya was a potential problem as soon as he got that kill, and they just made sure he couldn't do that again.
We saw a 3-0 stomp in the PC side of things, but E United beating out Obey. Are we about to see a 3-0 stomp right now? Or do you think this is when Astral Authority is finally going to take a step back, not do these picks that they've been doing, and go with something more standard?
Look, Astral, they're an experienced team, right? You know, they've won all year. They can come back from this, but I don't think they've ever been put in this position before of 0-2 on a world stage after such a great year.
Right. Well, you're looking, you can see the discussion going on right now with Astral Authority. Seems very tense.
It's always bound to be a pretty intense moment for this team. Brochacho being that leader and shot caller for the team. As far as how the drafting is concerned, he's probably taking into consideration what he knows his teammates are comfortable with as well.
There was a lot of action in that game, including a deicide that we got to see. Let's actually check out a replay of that deicide in the game.
And just the entire time, of course, Keegs was, I wouldn't say free casting, because you could tell that Astral was trying to place some emphasis against him. It's just so hard when the rest of his team can provide such heavy frontlining, the Geb in particular.
And just look where they are. All of them were positioned so well to catch out any of the other members that were trying to run away.
Yeah, and they're positioned well around Keegs as well. It looks like he's free casting because he's been protected so well. He has full confidence in his team that he just sits there and holds the button and keeps firing.
It just feels like I'm almost watching a rival team fight from earlier with the way that they're looking to protect their carries on Myth. And another thing too is that once Jumpahhhh was able to establish such a heavy lead, he completely abused it. He was not giving any breathing room to KhaoticPurpose, and it all kind of falls back to that early game start where there were just unanswered kills from Astral Authority, but 3 members of Myth Gaming actually managed to survive in the duo lane. And once Brochacho rotated back in, he was only level 3, Coviiii was only level 3, there was absolutely nothing they could do.
Ooh.